everybody, welcome back to Jackie's channel about nothing. We got a blizzard going on here in the middle of, or I should say in western New York here. So today everybody's hunkering down, there's travel bans everywhere of course, and so I figured today I'm just going to use the leftover pie dough that we made in video 1 and use the leftover crapplepie mixture that we used for the cookies in video number 3, and we'll make 2 mini apple pies. So yeah, this is what's going on over here. Can barely see, oh, can't see it on the camera anyway. Let's just go outside really quick. Yeah, it's cold. It's very, very snowy. Woo-wee. Look at that. So literally can't see across the street or even down my stairs here. So it's pretty crazy. And oh, my wreath. Oh, there we go. That's my Christmas decorations. So unfortunately I don't have a storm door. So what are you gonna do? Actually, what I did, because I don't have a storm door, it gets pretty windy in here, I guess. And so what I do is I put a tension rod between here and there, and then threw my Snoopy blanket over it, and then I just used chip clips to kind of hold the blanket in place. So yeah, no, I don't have a door, and obviously it doesn't replace what a storm door would do, but it's something, and it keeps like the, you know, the heat from the fireplace in and all that stuff. So oh, look who it is. Hi, Bonnie Bean. Say hi, everybody. Stop moving so I can get you. Oh, look at me, I'm so cute and I know it. So there we go. So yeah, it obviously doesn't work for like more open spaces, but if you have like a little crevice there where you could put a tension rod and hang a blanket there, that'll help keep the thing in, the warmth. So, as promised, now the good thing is that the dough is already made, the filling is already made. We're just gonna put it together and bake it. I have everybody's favorite, I guess, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on. We just finished watching Elf. By we, I mean me and the dog. We just finished watching Elf, and that's always funny. So there we go. Okay, so for mini apple pies, I got these little dishes from Walmart. They're super cute. Good for pie for one or one snack or whatever. Yeah, so this is the dough, the pie crust that we made in video number 1. If you don't use it right away, you can freeze it. That's fine. It holds up in the fridge for a while too. I don't know. You'd have to look up the exact times. I'm guessing a few days. I wouldn't push it a week, but there we go. So with the pie crust, you just kind of... Is this crooked? I'm sorry. I have my phone sitting... If you don't have a professional phone stand, clearly a couple boxes of Jell-O, 2 boxes of Cheerios, and some CDs will do the trick. That's my professional setup. I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna just flatten this out a little bit. Put some flour down on your surface so that it doesn't stick. There's some discussion. I've seen some conversation online as to when you're rolling it out. Do you put the flour on the pin or do you put the flour on the dough? I don't know why. To me, it's just wherever, as long as you have flour on it. So I kind of do both. I have like a little pile of flour. I just kind of go like this. And then what we're going to do is you're going to roll, trying to make this as a clean circle as you can. Mine never comes out clean, but that's okay. So yeah, so just kind of like this, and then you turn it. And then what the thickness or thinness of it is just enough where you can just see underneath it. So if you were to put like this or your finger underneath and you could just see it, then it's thin enough. You don't want it too thin because when you put the filling in, it'll dissolve it or whatever. And you won't have a crust. You don't want it too thick because then it won't bake all the way through. Maybe there are some bakeries out there that do like a thicker crust, pie crust. I don't know. But I don't do it that way. There we go. And you try to make it even. So it's like an even thickness all the way through the pie crust. It doesn't always happen that way. That's okay. So I'm just going to check underneath here. Maybe roll it off just a little bit more. A couple more good rolls should do it. There we go. I can kind of see the cutting board through here, so that works. And then take your pie dish. You can roll this up onto the pin. Roll, roll, roll. Slide your baking dish in there and plop it through. So you're going to want to push the pie crust in and make sure that it's flush up against the pie dish, because if you don't, it could bubble up, or it doesn't cook right because the dough isn't in direct contact with the dish that's being heated up, so it's not going to cook right. So you really want to press the dough in there and on the sides and in the bottom, in the corner where the side meets the bottom. You want to press that down. And on the top here, I'm pretty sure I'll have enough dough for a top layer, so we'll do a full top layer instead of like some people that do the lattice strips, which I can work on another day. I'll show you that. There we go. Oh, you see here, it's like really flush up against the sides here and in the corners. Cool. So now what we're going to do is cut the excess dough off. You can use kitchen shears, you can just use a knife, whatever you got, it doesn't matter. Or you can just tear it off with your hands. Whatever works for you. And then we're going to set this aside. And we're probably going to cut a little more off. I like to leave a little bit hanging because when we put the top crust on, we're going to combine the two together, so kind of like pinch it at the sides. And you just want enough there, and then you can trim off anything you won't need after that. Okay, cool. Let me go get the other pie in the fridge. Now, since we're not blind baking this one, we're going to have a filling in here. You don't have to poke the holes because the filling will act as the pie weights. So we don't need to poke any holes in there. Okay. Here we go. Now we're going to take the filling and scoop it into the pie. Maybe I only have enough filling for the one. Oh well, we'll save this pie for another day then. You can do that. And it's already rolled out. I'll just have to freeze the dish, but whatever. It looks like a lot more than it really is. Also, when you're cooking, when I do like regular apple pies, my my apple pieces are a lot bigger than this. This just happens to be left over from the cookies where it had to be this small. So maybe you don't need as much for a real apple pie, but no, this is good. That's okay. There we go. So you want to just level that off. Okay. Cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the top crust on. I'm just going to use the leftover crust that I had from the bottom side. Dust your surface with flour and roll this together. Bonnie is just waiting for me to drop something here. She is wise to do so. I'm very klutzy. I drop things all the time, but that's okay. Probably, I don't know, I guess you could use the same thickness as you used for the bottom crust. Like this isn't actually touching the pie plate at any point. So, but it still needs to cook through. I guess this is okay. I made it the same thickness as the bottom. It's kind of translucent, you can see through it. And then you just, I just had an idea. If you have, if you really want to make it fancy, I probably should have made this thicker. What did I do with it? Oh. You can use, I used to use this for fondant. I mean, there's different designs out there. It's the name escapes me at the moment. But it's a mat that you press into the dough, and it makes like an impression mat. So you just take your roller and kind of go over it, and you're going to slowly push the design into the crust. The last time I did this, it didn't come out too much, but I don't think I pushed hard enough into the dough. So we'll see if it happens this time. You can take anything that'll make an impression in the dough if you want to make it fancy. Aw, that's cute. I'm not sure how it'll actually turn out, but oh well, I'll put it on the pie first, then I'll show you. So now we roll this up onto the pin. No, don't break. And then onto the pie. Okay, now just as I was talking about before, we're going to take the bottom part of this and pinch it with this part. This is obviously extra. If you want to cut that off to make it a little easier to handle, you can do that. Let's move this aside here, and we're pinching. So we're just going to press down on the sides here, really get those two together. And you're going to fold under like this. You kind of like tuck this. Tuck the two pieces. Once you pinch them, you kind of just roll it under. And you're going to make a nice crust out of this. Or edge. Edge of the crust? I don't know. Pinch off more of this. And Bethany is about to say grace. I pledge allegiance to the flag. I love this part. Alright. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, unless you want it to be. You can spend as much time on, forming this as you want. For me, this is just a whatever pie that I'm just kind of making for me. I made my desserts. Oh, I don't think I ever showed the final product for the crapplepie cookies we made yesterday. So this is what it looks like after you bake them. This is from video number 3. Yeah. And then you'll see on the bottom that looks kind of like this. Don't worry, it tastes fine. But this black part over here kind of like runs out onto the sides. You just snap it off. Like you could just take this and snap it off. But yeah, they're super good. So I forgot to show that yesterday. So what we're going to do is preheat the oven to 425. Now the crust will... some people swipe the top with butter, with melted butter. It gives it a sheen, like a sheen finished. We can do that. And then you got to cut the holes at the top so that the filling has somewhere to go. So yeah, if you for those of you that have a Ninja Foodie, that's what I'm going to use for this. It has like all the different functions on it. I use the bake function if I'm going to make something small like this. So there's no need to fire up the full oven for something small. So if you don't, then fire up the full oven. It's okay. I need... So, and then you want to take... Where did all my knives go? Oh, I should probably wash dishes. But you want to take a knife and just make little slits in here. And the mini pie, it's usually about 4 or 5. I'll just do 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So, not the prettiest looking thing, but I'm rushing. So here we go. So you can see the little impressions on the pie made from the mat. Here we go. Oh, I'll show you the Ninja Foodie. This, if you watch my previous videos, you'll see that I was talking about Freakin' Reviews channel. This is one of the contraptions that I bought because of that channel. So thank you, James White from Freakin' Reviews, for making me spend money. But this thing is an absolute godsend. Whether you're by yourself or you have a full family, this thing does everything. Oh, well, it's backwards for you because I can't figure out how to flip this thing. But baking is one of the options, and it heats up super, super fast. So you turn it on, turn it to bake, and then 425 is what we want, and probably for the time we're going to do 25 minutes because we're going to put it in foil first, and then we're going to remove the foil and bake it for like another 20 minutes or so. Oh, not even close. Get a pastry brush or use your hands. We got our melted butter, and we're just gonna brush it on there. If you heard that beep, that's how fast that Ninja Foodie preheated to 425 degrees. Ridiculous. It really is amazing. And I will sing its praises till the day I die. Okay, so for the foil, now you do that because you don't want the edges to burn so quickly. I have, oh, this is fun. I think you can get these at stores now. This one's from the Pampered Chef, but this is for a regular pie. You just, with your pie plate, you put this over the edges so that the edges don't book because they bake so quickly on the edges. You want to cover that up first, then remove it, and then let the whole pie finish baking. So clearly this is a little big. So tinfoil does the same thing. I think they make rubber ones too. which I thought I had, but I can't find them. Now with the Ninja Foodie, once it comes to temperature, the countdown automatically starts. Clearly, the pie is not in the oven yet, so we're gonna have to reset the timer. Wow. All right. Well, this is what life looks like in my house. So we'll just take little strips of it. Okay. And then you're gonna, it's not thick enough. Okay. Let's try this again. Does not need to be perfect, it just needs to cover the edge. So we're gonna like tuck the bottom under the pie dish and kind of fold it over. And then kind of pinch it every now and then on the sides to make it go around the pie. Does that make sense? I don't think it did, but I know what I'm talking about. You just kind of like fold it over so it's in a nice circle. We're gonna cut another piece off. There we go. We're getting there. There we go. There we go. That's our unfinished pie, or pie ready for baking, I should say. So now we're gonna take this. As you can see, the timer started. So I'm just going to open that up, get the oven mitt. Sorry, are you getting dizzy? Okay, we're gonna put this pie on there. Push that in. Push this in. Okay, and we're going to reset the time to 25 minutes. And there we go. So in 25 minutes, what I'll do is I'll remove the foil strips. I'll set this back to 20 minutes, and then we'll have a pie. The timing might be a little bit different because the Ninja Foodie oven is obviously smaller than an actual oven, so the air is going to flow a little differently. But if I have any changes that I make insofar as the timing goes, I'll put it in the description or whatever. So that's it. So that's making a mini pie using some leftover pie crust and filling that I had. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye.